Hey guys, it's Alana.
Hi, it's Jake.
And you're listening to Seeing Other People.
To seeing each other.
We're seeing each other, yeah. Oh my God, so you're not seeing other people?
No.
Me either. Are we defining the relationship right now?
This is us defining the relationship right now, yes.
Holy shit, we're exclusive.
We're exclusive.
Guys, he likes me.
Starting today.
Right? You like me?
I do.
Oh my God. Well, okay. So this is a different type of episode. I brought Jake on today. For those of you who don't know, Jake is my boyfriend, though I think you know by now, which I have to clear up that like every time I say my boyfriend Jake in episodes, I'm not the type of girl who's always like my boyfriend this, my boyfriend that. Like I don't want to be that type of girl, but I feel like I have to clarify who you are in case someone's listening for the first time, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you talk about me that much on the podcast at all.
Okay.
Which
he gets upset about.
I feel like there's always missed moments. I'm always like, oh, she's about to mention when we did this. And then you're just like.
He always texts me being like, you didn't say a word about me. Or like, you didn't talk about me at all.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you have a dating podcast. I would think you talk about our dating life.
It's not about me. It's not the Alana show.
No,
I wish
true.
it was, but
That's
people aren't tuning in to hear about my life.
That is fair.
That could be a different podcast that we can start.
Very fair.
Would you want to host?
And I don't really care. It's totally cool not to be mentioned either.
If you want to host the Alana show, I'm all in.
No.
I'm all in on the Alana show.
I don't do the public speaking.
Okay, fine. Well, today we are here because there have been so many questions over the years, aka over the last few months, about Jake and I and how we met, how we started dating, why Alana, why Jake, how could somebody actually date me and like me and put up with me, and how you're finally somebody who didn't ghost me. Because according to all of my content, I get ghosted every day of the week.
That is true. I mean, early on, it was funny because you always say that ghosting part of it and that like you're the worst and you're so weird and self-sabotage. And I don't see that at all. I don't think a little weird, I guess, but like everyone's a little bit weird, right? And you're definitely not self-sabotaging at all.
Well, you haven't seen it happen because I haven't with you.
Gotcha.
We'll get into it. But yeah, so we have a ton of questions that we got from all of you on the Seeing Other People Instagram story. Cough, cough. If you are not following Seeing Other People on Instagram, head to Instagram.com right now. Follow Seeing Other People. That helps me and my business and pay rent for the apartment that I'm in. Otherwise, I'd have to move in with Jake. And I think we're a little too soon on that. And he would not be happy. So please follow. Please leave a 5-star rating and review if you are listening and you like it or you just never want to listen to us again. I don't care what it is. Leave a 5-star rating and review. Also, make sure to head to patreon.com/seeingotherpeople. Jake and I just recorded 2 great bonus episodes where we do a lot of Q&A stuff, questions that you guys have emailed in. Had Jake in there for the male perspective. He did a great job. This is now his 3rd recording, so he's a pro.
Thank you. I'm very nervous here.
Yeah, you're shaking. Your legs are shaking right now. I thought you said you felt more comfortable.
I do feel more comfortable, but now this is like, not that the Patreons aren't real, but yeah, I don't know. Everyone's going to listen to this. Like even my friends are going to listen to this. It's going to be...
You have friends?
It's going to be weird. Yeah, all 2 of them will listen to this.
Shout out Nancy and Cliff if you're tuning in. Hello.
Nancy probably will tune in.
Nancy. Shout out to Nancy's Nuts, the unofficial sponsor of Seeing Other People. Nancy's Nuts are the best homemade candied nuts that you could find in the world. Definitely do not recommend them if you are allergic to nuts. they do contain nuts.
Nut free.
But head to at Nancy's Nuts. That's NUTZ on Instagram and place your order for Nancy's Nuts. Nancy will hand make them. Nancy is Jake's mom, by the way, Jake's wonderful mother. And I am the chief marketing officer of Nancy's Nuts. And Jake is, what's your job?
The CEO.
You're the CEO? I
didn't
sign off on that.
Why not?
Anywho, that is our unofficial sponsor, but our official sponsor, of course, we have to give a shout out to Mindset Wellness, which we will reference many a time because Mindset Wellness helps us sleep at night. Jake, why don't you give this plug?
Yeah, we take Mindset Wellness every night before bed.
What do we take specifically?
The sleep. Is it a sleep one?
Rest.
We take the rest one every night. It is really good. We do really like it.
We do.
I don't know. I'm not good at sponsors. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But we do love Mindset Wellness CBD. We love the Rest Gummies. We love John and Renee, the founders. And I also love the Focus gummies. I think I've been talking about those nonstop. But yeah, rest gummies really help you sleep at night. Especially
and they taste good.
They taste amazing. They're like our dessert.
Yeah,
we don't eat dessert when we're together because we have the rest gummies.
Yeah, we get excited when we're like, oh, we forgot we have the rest gummies, and then we eat the rest gummies.
Or if we're ever like away somewhere and we don't have the rest gummies with us, it's so sad.
It's sad.
But let's get into it. Oh yeah, mindsetwellnesscbd.com. Use code Seeing Other People for 10% off and free shipping and a good night's sleep. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna kind of give an overview of our relationship, where it all began, how it all unfolded, and then we can actually get into some of the questions that you all asked and we can give our answers. What do you say, Jake?
Cool. Let's do it.
Cool. All right. So do you want to take us through, because I guess I made the first move technically on Hinge. I liked a photo. It was of you and Nancy, and I liked that photo, and then you took it from there.
Oh, sorry. Is that my cue? I thought you were she's
I am going
pulling
to pull
something
it
up
up.
on her
I'm going to
phone
pull
here.
up our combo because I am obsessive and psycho, and I have screenshots of our entire Hinge conversation. So I liked Jake's photo on January 12th, which was a Tuesday, at 8:43 p.m. If you happen to be listening to this episode on a Tuesday at 8:43, that is a sign. Go on Hinge. So then at 11:47 p.m. that night, Jake matched with me, invited me to start the chat. I didn't message anything. And then on Wednesday, the next day at 7 p.m., he said, hey, how's your week going? And then another message, he wrote, just FYI, I love the Jonas Brothers, LOL.
All at the same time, which is important because it's one message.
Which is something he brought up the Jonas Brothers because I had a prompt in my profile about loving the Jonas Brothers. I think I wrote something about like being obsessed with the Jonas Brothers and Zoe and Sugarfish.
Yeah.
Which is very correct to my personality.
Yeah, those are all
those
on
are
brand
the
for
things
sure.
that I love. So after that, what happened?
So she didn't answer for I guess
week.
she just didn't answer. And eventually I went back onto Hinge and I wrote, hey, thought I'd try again. How was your weekend? And then she responded after that.
I responded.
So it was 2 messages. And this is important to me because I just wanted to clear this up.
There have been a lot of rumors that he like quadruple messaged me or messaged me 18 times. He didn't. There were 3 messages, but the first 2 were like, they could have been one text.
Yeah.
So he did follow up a week later, which is something that a lot of people, it's taboo to some people to do that. Some people think like, oh, well, like, why are you going to like beg them to talk to you? It's like, no, like dating apps are really complicated in a way where people are going on in different like phases. Like someone will go on for like 10 minutes at a time and swipe through a bunch of people, match with a few, maybe talk to one, and then other matches will come in later, and then they'll log on to respond to that one person that they started talking to. They'll see the other stuff come in and they're like, I'll deal with this another time. And it's one of those things where you could end up like missing out on someone great just because you're so focused on like the one conversation you're having, or like, okay, no, like these matches are all like fine, but like they're not the person, and you really never know. So I think it's great that he did that. Obviously, I responded. And so what I said
it
back.
worked out.
Yeah, right? We're here.
We're here.
Yeah. I said, glad you tried again because I didn't see this and 100% would have responded about the Jonas Brothers. Was that true? I don't know. I'm sure I saw it at some point. But then I said, weekend was nice. Actually on the train home to parents and dog right now. So laid low and just chilled with my roommates, which was nice. What about you?
Oh, we're really going through like the whole text.
Well, okay, whatever. We don't have to. There are a lot of screenshots. Whatever.
I just think
I responded.
Any of those
Done.
early day texts are like so awkward between people.
Yeah, you don't
if
want to
you're
read
on
back.
like the Hinge messages or it's your first text with somebody, those back and forths are crazy.
Yeah, you don't want to read them. I know you don't want to read them.
LOL, hi, great, amazing.
I think I once scrolled back up to old texts and you were like hiding yourself because you were like, absolutely not. I can't read these.
Probably.
Yeah. So the follow-up, I think the follow-up is great. I think you can absolutely follow up with somebody if they didn't respond. You have absolutely nothing to lose is the thing about that. And so shoot your shot.
It was also on a dating app where you liked my picture first.
That's true.
And yeah, I know.
Does Nancy know that the picture I liked was with her?
I don't know.
I wonder how much of a like pull Nancy was in there. Maybe I was like, his mom looks nice.
Maybe. I don't know. That seems like a you question. No, I don't think she does now. I don't think she's seen that Hinge part of it.
All right. Well, Nancy, if you're listening to this now, you know.
Now she will know.
Again, everybody, follow and order Nancy's Nuts. You will not regret it. Best nuts you will ever have in your mouth.
I did not know that Nancy's Nuts was going to get such a plug on this episode.
Well, you said you wanted Nancy's Nuts to sponsor for absolutely $0. It's fine. It's giving away sponsorships now.
You're the highest paid employee on the team. We take care of our people.
Anywho, next. Okay, so after that, Jake we talked for a while, and then we moved to text. And what I remember, and you can correct me if I'm wrong at any point, is that at one point, I mean, like we were talking, going back and forth, and then you said like, would love to grab drinks sometime like next week or something, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. And so the thing is, this was the beginning of January and COVID was still full force. Nobody was vaccinated. And I know for me, I was going back and forth between my parents' house and the city. And my roommates at the time also were my two roommates. And so the three of us kind of made an agreement that until like early mid-February, as we were going back and forth, as nobody's parents were vaccinated, we were just going to not see anybody besides each other. Like the three of us could hang out here and we could go home to our parents and feel safe and confident knowing that we did not see anyone. We were wiping down everything. You're being so careful. And so I said to Jake in the beginning, or I guess middle of January, it was probably like around like January 15th or something. I was like, I actually can't go on a date until like after February 6th. When my roommates leave, but I will reach out then. Yeah,
I think that's right. And I mean, I just didn't do anything about it. I was like, okay, if she reaches out, and we'll go on a date. And if she doesn't reach out, then on to the next.
I was convinced that when I said that, I was like, this kid thinks he's never going to hear from me again.
You said that to me. I don't know if it was when you texted me back. You then said, hey, I'm back. I can do this date, whatever. And I was like, cool, I could do that date. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you said it during that text or just another date, but at another point you were like, you really thought I wasn't going to text you back, right? And I was like, yeah, like, I don't know. I wasn't 100% sure either way, but ball was like in your court.
Yeah. So yeah, we planned a date and we went on a date on a Monday night. It was a big deal because we both were missing The Bachelor.
That's true.
For our first date.
We have an episode of The Bachelor tonight.
We do. Now you all know we're recording this on a Monday. And so the unfortunate thing about our first date was it was 20 degrees in New York City in the dead of the winter. And it was very, very cold. Jake did not dress for the occasion.
Yeah, was not dressed for the occasion. Alana like knew what these outdoor dates were like, so she was all geared up for it. Had like the hand warmer and whatnot. I'm in like a jacket and jeans and
I had leggings under my jeans. I had like 4 layers on, a portable hand warmer, a scarf, gloves, a hat, and he had one jacket.
I mean, I remember they were bringing like warm drinks, warm
drinks.
cocktails, and after like 30 seconds they would be cold again. It was really a tough day for us.
That's the thing. It's like the date itself, it was fine. It was a fine date.
We probably both couldn't really even think about what we're talking about or have a conversation. It was so cold. You're under like 2 heat lamps, but it's like there's snow on the ground. You know, it's freezing cold.
We kind of kept going back to how cold it was. As like I was thinking about like what to say next, and I was like, it's just so damn cold.
Yeah.
And like, I think we just kept talking about my portable heater and like holding the warm drinks, but then the drinks not being warm.
Probably.
And I mean, like when we would find a few things to talk about that like led to good conversations, the conversations were good, but those were kind of few and far between because it was too cold it was too cold to enjoy ourselves kind of. So yeah, the date was fine. We left. I ordered an Uber back. He offered to walk me home, and then I was like, you're not walking me like 30 blocks.
Well, so you also said that you lived on the Upper East Side, and you don't live on the Upper East Side. So I thought
Upper East Side. I live 5 blocks away from the border, and it's just easier for me to say like Upper East. I think at one point I said I lived in the 50s and the river though. Now everyone knows where I live. Don't worry, I have doormen, so you can't come knock on my door.
And then I asked if you wanted to change locations because I realized you were not as close to the location that I was.
But then you realized that and you were like, do you want me to walk you home? And I was like, you're not walking me home. It's 20 degrees. Go home. He also, look, here's one thing that I don't support is that he picked a restaurant that was half a block away from his apartment, which is so not cool and something I really do not recommend that people do because it's just like kind of sleazy.
Yes, agreed.
But he did.
It was weird times. I mean, it was hard to like figure out where to go, like what to do on a COVID date.
Yeah, you're right.
it was a terrible spot too. Like, of course I would never go there like ever again on a COVID date. Like
I love the, okay, fine. On the COVID date,
I know. But like under those conditions, are you kidding me? Like I wouldn't do that to myself.
Agree. It was pretty painful.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then the Uber came and then we were kind of standing up, like we didn't kiss. It was kind of like an awkward, like, okay, the Uber's here. Bye. And I don't know. I think we both walked away from the date being like, that was fine.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah. And I was like, maybe I'll see this guy again. Like, sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
And at the time I was going on dates with somebody else who I was like, thought I was super into. And so I was like, whatever, like it was a fine day, good food. God, I went, I guess. But then Jake texted me maybe like a half hour after. And
Probably.
he was like, I had a really great time tonight, despite the cold, blah, blah, blah. Like, would love to do this again, like in a warmer place. And
yeah, I mean, I think also for me and probably for you too, it wasn't like totally fair to judge the date off of just like conditions.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, we got to a second date.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
Well, so what I wanted to call out was like him texting me right after saying that he had a great time and wanted to see me again. For me was wow, that's so refreshing. Usually after a date, I have to kind of start overthinking everything right after and then wait until the morning and see if I wake up to a text from him and then like wait all day checking my phone to see if I'm going to get a text from the guy. And for like Jake texting me right after saying he had a good time and wanted to see me again was like the greatest thing in the world for me, because I was like, wow, okay, he wants to see me again. Cool. Sure. I'll see him again. And I didn't have to get anxious about it. Like he didn't even give me the time or opportunity to become anxious about it, which like he didn't know that was the thing that would have happened, but it was like huge for me. So we planned a second date for the following week, which he actually asked if I wanted to do a date the following Sunday, which was Valentine's Day, without realizing that it was Valentine's Day. And I think I remember I texted Jonah a screenshot of it. I texted Jonah and Lindsay, shout out, we met at Acme. And I was like, wait, I think he's asking to do a date on Valentine's Day. And I hadn't answered you yet. And you texted me like an hour later being like, wait, I just realized that's Valentine's Day. How about the next day? And I couldn't do it anyway. I had plans that day, not with another boy, don't worry. But we ended up going on a second date that following Monday. So exactly a week later. And he came to my apartment. We ordered in food and made margaritas and had a nice time.
Yeah. I mean, I think we had a pretty good second date.
It was fun.
Yeah. It's my first intro to Sugarfish. We like drank.
We played the Jonas Brothers the whole night.
We drank a pretty decent amount. Yeah, played Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
It ended with a kiss.
It did end with that. I had to make the move for the kiss.
Yeah.
Like the whole time I was like, is he gonna? No. Okay. I literally had to like do like a joke pickup line on him to get him to like kiss me at the end. But it was like funny. It was cute. But yeah, I mean, the second date, I think we definitely like hit it off more and like realized like a lot of things we had in common and stuff. But then after that, again, still COVID times, I was going home for a week right after. And then I was going to visit family in Florida for 2 weeks. And so we knew that we weren't going to see each other for a while. And again, Jake followed up right after. I think it was the next morning this time because you left at like 12:30 or 1. And maybe you said you texted me when you got home or something. But I remember the next day he was like, I know you're leaving for a few weeks, but I'd love to talk while you're gone and see you when you're back.
Yeah, I think I was trying to not be like weird and be like, let's talk every single day nonstop while you're gone and like keep it going. I was like, it's going to be weird and there's going to be stops throughout kind of our talking. And let's just try to keep it kind of where we're at and pick it back up when I get back. I think that's what we did for the most part. You were leaving for like 3 weeks or something. It was a long time.
Yes.
Especially like when you're starting to date somebody or like trying to be interested.
Yeah, it's like at that point either the momentum can totally be dropped and you never see each other again, or you find a way to make it work. And again, similarly to the text he sent me after the first date, it was like, wow, like, okay, again, he's not giving me the time to like overthink or be anxious about anything. And I know that he wants to keep talking and that's great. Sure. I can absolutely keep talking while I'm away and see when I'm back. So I went away. I ended up coming back a week early to get a COVID test when it became available to me. And I told him that I was coming back I was supposed to come back just for a day and then go back to Florida for that last week. And he insisted on taking me out on that day.
Well, you were like, hey, I mean, I wasn't expecting you to come home.
I wasn't expecting you to come home. I got a phone call on Friday and I was like, okay, I'm coming.
To be fair, like you owed me nothing at that point. If you came home, got a COVID shot, went back on the plane and went back to Florida and didn't tell me, like you could have been like, hey, I was just doing this to get the shot. Like, of course I would have been like, what do I expect at that
Right.
point? We went on 2 dates, like hardly know each other. But you text me being like, hey, I'm back in town if you're free to do something.
No, I texted you before I left. I remember that because I remember Angie
Yeah, that you were,
and I
you
were
were
talking
coming
about
back
it. Yeah.
for like, you're like, your first text was, hey, I'm coming back on this date. And I was like, oh, wow, she'll be back. Great. I could set up a date for the next week. And then like your next text was, I'm only going to be back for the weekend or something,
like
for
36
24
hours.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, like, why even like, we're not going to be able to do something this time.
Right.
But you were free on Sunday. So I made myself free on Sunday.
Yeah,
too,
he had someone
out.
cover work for him because he usually works on the weekends. And I came back. I got my COVID shot on Saturday, like 5 p.m.
Underratedly, I had texted Danny at this point and been like, should I take off work on Sunday?
Danny's one of his roommates.
He's one of my roommates, Danny. Should I take off work on Sunday? And he goes, you never know what happens with people. You might as well just do it and take it off. Like, it's a good
Wow, we should take
opportunity.
Danny out to dinner.
So I was like, you're right. Fuck it. Let me just take off and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's like taking off work for me. Like, what's going on? But I was like, that's cute, I guess. Like, sure, I'll let him take off work for me. Like, I guess. And my friend was like, yeah, like that's what you deserve. You deserve someone who like is going to take off work to take you on a date. I'm like, okay. So I got my shot. I was so sick after it.
Yeah, you were not well.
Oh my God, I was texting you that night being like, I have a
trooper.
fever. I'm like crying. I'm in so much pain.
I thought 100% you were going to cancel that date.
And that's why I was texting you that I was like not okay because I was prefacing it as like I might have to cancel.
Yeah. And I'd already like taken off work and I was like, oh, did I waste this? But of course, like, what am I going to do too? I'm going to be like, you have to come out on this date with me. No, like I was just hopeful. I was like, okay, hopefully she shows up to this date where we're supposed to like drink and have a full day.
We were going to brunch and like
which you did. I mean, we did drink and have a full day, honestly.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think we both thought like maybe it wasn't going to happen, but woke up the next morning. I remember, oh my God, I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. But, like, I'm here. I may as well like do it. I had to put my arm in a fake sling while like getting dressed and putting my makeup on because I was in so much pain and I felt so sick. And I literally, I have pictures that I sent to my friend of like me making a sling out of like a long sleeve t-shirt for my arm. And I couldn't even like put my arm through my jacket. And I remember you had to, like, I think at one point, like you had to like help me with my jacket and my chair and stuff. And then you had to like cut food for me at one point.
That might be true. At the roof. Yeah.
But yeah, we ended up having a really great day and we went to a great brunch and walked around the city for a while, sat at another restaurant and sat outside. It was a little warmer on that day.
Yeah.
And we ended up, I think at the end, it was maybe like, we started at like 12, it was maybe like 4:30. And I was like, I mean, I'm planning on just going back to my apartment and watching One Tree Hill all night. If you want to do that, like you're welcome to. And so he was like, sure. And so he got an Uber with me and I think we got a cab and came back and we literally just watched One Tree Hill for 4 hours.
True.
And for me, that was like, wow, like I had a really great day under really terrible conditions where I felt awful. And this is somebody that I can go out and have fun with, but also like sit on the couch for 4 hours, binging my favorite show and have a great time.
Same. Yeah, I love One Tree Hill too.
And yeah, so that was our third date. And after that, I didn't end up going back to Florida because I ended up going home for a week because I got really sick. But yeah, I think after that we kept going on dates and yeah. So let's get into some of the questions because I think those will lead into some of the later on story details. I will hold this for you as you type in your password on your computer. Dun, da, da, da. All right. So let's start going into some of the questions. So one was, did timing, and these are questions that you guys submitted on the Instagram story specifically for this episode with Jake. Did timing play a big role for you?
Yes, I think so. We were both working really hard at our previous jobs, and I don't think either of us were so happy there. And we were just like both out of that, like into a new chapter of our life. You were seeing other people, and I had just started a new job and like really was living at home versus my other job was just travel a ton, work a ton, really like the grind. And I think you feel a lot of that same way. Mm-hmm. So I think we were both just in a better state for dating at that time. I mean, COVID was in the way a little bit, but who knows if that actually helped us or hurt us in terms of dating and getting to second date or third date or whatnot. Just for how difficult it is to go out on dates at that time.
It was really interesting. Like we met each other and started dating through every stage of COVID when it was like at its worst, through people getting vaccines, through masks coming off, through indoor dining opening up, and us being like, are we okay with that? Are we not? And I think you were okay with it before I was, just because you work in a restaurant. But it was really kind of interesting and unique to see it all unfold as we were getting to know each other.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I was definitely more okay with it than you. I was like traveling throughout most of the pandemic, was like
for work,
with a bunch of random people all the time. So
yeah, but yeah, timing, definitely. I think, like Jake said, we both were in really new places with our careers that we felt really good about. We both ironically were let go from our old jobs like within a few weeks from each other. So, and that was a few months before we met. And so I think we both were on the same page of like mourning that experience and being like, this is a new chapter. This is like a different experience. We're going to kind of make it better this time. And I know I've talked about on the podcast, like the pandemic really gave me time to kind of reflect and think through, and especially doing Dating Sucks and seeing other people, I kind of got to learn a lot about me in dating. And so I think we really did meet each other at a great time. And I think, yeah, I do think timing matters. Obviously, like I think there are a lot of things about our relationship that are really great, but would they have been this great and would it have worked so well had we met a year before? I don't know.
Yeah, who's to say?
He always says who's to say. That's why we're laughing.
But no, I think that's really important too. I mean, especially for you and how you talk about yourself on the podcast. I mean, I feel like when I first started listening to you, and I listen to like every Seen Other People podcast, and I listen to every podcast she goes on too, just because I'm a supportive boyfriend and emotional support.
Okay.
But no, I also really enjoy it. But you always like talked like down about yourself in a sense, in terms of like self-sabotage, those things. I already mentioned this, but yeah, I don't find that to be true at all. I think I think the more you talk about something, the better you get at it. So when you talk about dating and you listen to other people's stories and things like that, like, yeah, you're a good dater.
Thank you.
You're a fun girlfriend.
Oh, guys, I'm fun. Okay, next question. Wow, going off of that. Jake, how does it feel to have a dating expert as your girlfriend?
It's cool. I mean, I definitely love listening to all those episodes. One time Jonah had mentioned that it must be really interesting for somebody else to listen to someone's like dating podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's so true. Like I got to know you a lot faster than you got to know me, for sure. Just in terms of like what you were kind of into and what type of person you were looking for. And like,
were you listening being like, oh, like I check off these things. Like I am what she's looking for.
Exactly. That was more it versus being like, let me like scam the game type thing and like just do it so Alana likes me. It was more like, oh, I am that type of person. And I do see this, I see dating like the same way you see dating in a lot of senses.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was like super important to me. Like just how you talked about it. I was like, oh yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah. Am I the same person in real life as I am on the podcast?
You're a little bit more normal, I would say.
In real life? Or on the podcast?
Yeah, I think in real life.
What do you mean by that? Elaborate.
I mean, again, like I just, sometimes you talk down to yourself on the podcast, you know, like I'm so weird and this, that, the other. Like, I mean, sure, like you have some weird things about you, but doesn't everybody?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think you're very normal.
Oh, I'm normal. Guys, he thinks I'm normal.
Going back to the grandma.
Yeah.
Saying normal's good.
Yeah.
We're both. I think we're just both normal.
Yeah. Grandma Gail, shout out.
Trying to survive.
Yeah. All right. Next question. When did you, Jake, know that you wanted to be exclusive with Alana? Was it on date 1, date 5? Was it one weekend? When? What was the exact time? Give me a timestamp.
I don't know, like an exact time that we wanted to be exclusive with each other. I think we both like felt it. I don't remember what the date was.
It was on
date
6th.
Okay. Alana does remember what it was.
At 1:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I mean, that might be true. Is that
it
an
might
actual
be true.
time?
I don't know. I made that up, but that might be true.
Because we were at the zoo and you brought it up.
I could probably figure it out. Hold
on.
You keep talking. I'm on it.
Yeah, we just had this great date planned. I think I had planned the date. You were coming over to my apartment. We had mimosas and waffles on the roof. Got to use the waffle maker. My mom would be so happy. We both were so tired after mimosas and waffles though. Like we both didn't think we were actually going to make it for the rest of the day. But the rest of the day was we were going to go to the zoo in Central Park and then go to Prince Street Pizza and a speakeasy down in Soho. And we did all those things and it was a lot of fun. We had a great date. But at the zoo, you brought it up and you're like, are we exclusive?
I didn't bring it up.
I think so.
Are you kidding me?
I think so. You think you did?
No.
Why not?
You brought it up.
All right, whatever.
Oh my God, I didn't bring it up at all. You did.
So what was the base of the conversation?
I don't know, but it was around.
I remember it was
around 4:00 p.m. on March 22nd.
I remember it was at the
we were by the
very
seals.
end.
Yeah, we were by the seals.
All right, she got very defensive there. It's okay if you did bring it up.
I didn't.
Guys and girls can bring it up.
Let me look at my text. He asked me to be. No.
It's kind of a long time ago.
It was on March 22nd. Let's see. I'll find some text from 322. Okay. Wait, hold on. Jamie, love that he brought up being exclusive. Okay, wait. I have the whole. We started at his apartment, made mimosas and waffles, and went up to the zoo, played a little Mario Kart, went to Central Park, walked around the zoo, then blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, did I not explain? I don't. And he brought up the exclusive thing when we were at the zoo looking at the seals. LOL. I forget exactly what he led to it, but he brought up that he isn't going out with or talking to anyone else and doesn't want to. And I was like, I may have canceled dates last week with other guys because I don't want to either. And then I was like, oh my God, did we just have the exclusive talk? And he's like, yeah, we did. And that was it.
So there's no proof.
What do you mean? No, you brought it up.
Okay, I brought it up.
I am so confident. Next time, from now on, I'm recording all of our dates. But yeah, he brought it up, and I was like, "Yeah." And
this has also been the most me and Alana have ever fought.
True. But yeah, I remember thinking that it was maybe I wasn't expecting it to come up that soon, but I also knew, I literally did the night before or 2 nights before, I had canceled dates that were being set up or planned with 3 other people. And I was sitting on the couch with my friend Jamie, and I was like, I think I want to really give this a real shot. And there were 2 guys who friends were setting me up with, and then one who I think I was an old friend who we had gone out a few years ago, and we're maybe going to go out again. And I texted all of them saying that I hate to do this, but I did recently meet someone and I want to give it a fair shot. And so it was after I did that he brought it up, and I was like, I don't think I would have brought it up at that point, which is why I know for a fact that. Okay.
I believe it. I don't know.
But I also I was like, yeah, this makes sense. I'm also not going on dates with other people. And I was really excited. And again, he didn't give me the opportunity to wait and to have to be anxious about when is he going to do it. However, about a month later, I'm like, all right, he jumped the gun on everything. He's been so communicative the whole time, telling me he wants to see me again and stuff. He asked me to be exclusive. I'm like, when the hell is he going to ask me to be his girlfriend?
Oh, I didn't know where you're going with this.
I kept waiting. I'm like, every time we hung out, I was saying to my friends, maybe he'll do it this time. I don't know. And I finally, one day I looked at him and I was like, are you going to ask me to be your girlfriend or what? And he straight up goes, oh, I thought you were my girlfriend.
Yeah, well, it was funny too, because I think it was the night before I was with Danny and Angela and Frank, and they had asked, are you guys boyfriend, girlfriend? I was like,
oh, because I had posted something on the Seeing Other People story about exclusivity and if being exclusive is the same thing. Also,
the joke earlier when I said emotional support was because her response to it was you need to be there emotionally for the person, for them to be your significant other. Mm-hmm. So that's a joke we have.
It's my emotional support human.
So my roommates had mentioned that, and I was like, yeah, I think we're dating. I don't know. And then literally that next day you posted that, and I was like, oh, maybe we're not dating. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe we're not boyfriend, girlfriend.
But it was nice how I finally mustered up the courage to ask, and he was like, oh, I thought we were. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. All right, next question. Out of Alana's friends, who are your favorites?
Oh, I'm not answering that question.
All right, fine.
They're all my favorites. They're all a lot of fun. You have a lot of fun friends.
Following question. What are your 3 favorite things about Alana?
The toughest question. Alana asked me this.
He wrote down notes for this because he can't just think about 3 things he likes about me.
Alana literally asked me this almost every single day.
No, I don't.
Well, no, I want them to be like kind of thoughtful responses. I don't want to be like, Alana's very nice.
You don't think I'm nice?
No, you are very nice, but I want to have like 3 good ones. So I did write them down. Is that okay?
Okay.
I don't want to. All right. I'll start off with the list one because I actually really like this about you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Alana records everything and keeps a list of everything we do. So she's writing down right now, and
this is
our
we have
notes.
a shared note. This is our 66th date.
66th date. And we have like everyone written down with, you know, the date and kind of a little like what we did that day. And it's just really cool and thoughtful and what we want to do too. So we'll have places on there that we want to go to or go see. And then we, you know, it's easy to kind of keep up with, and it's just fun. I like it.
Yeah.
It's definitely stuff I would forget about too. I mean, thinking about just like
Same.
Asking to be exclusive or not. Like I certainly wouldn't remember 66 days.
That it was on March 22nd.
Or what day
at 4
it was.
o'clock.
Yeah,
By
everyone.
the seals at the Central Park Zoo.
Every once in a while, we'll be like, "What date do you think All Cheval was?"
Yeah.
Over under, and then you'd be like,
It's a fun game.
It's fun.
One thing I think is really cool. I do love that. And I love that you were also so down for it. Like, I don't know how it came up of like, let's keep this list. I think that's something I'd be like,
You definitely had it before showing me, obviously. I don't think like date one, you're like, I started this list.
I think it was like, I think it was like date 7 or 8 and we like went
You're
back
right.
and did it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't know when. We should wrote that down on the list.
What I think is really cool is we were at my parents' house recently and the list came up and my dad said he has his first 100 dates with my mom written down too, which was crazy. And he pulled out, he found a postcard, like an index card with the first like 10 or 20 dates on it and sent it to me, which is just like really, really cool. So we can try to replicate some of those.
That was very cool.
Yeah. Okay. 2 more.
The second thing is how ambitious you are.
Aw,
You're just like a real like go-getter. You just want to go do
Yes.
stuff and accomplish stuff and take on a lot of responsibility. And it's really cool to see. I mean, there's a lot of people like from similar backgrounds that probably can do a little bit less. But you're not that person. I think that's something that definitely attracted me to you and like still does.
He's attracted to me.
And then the third one is how thoughtful you are. I mean, it's like crazy thoughtful in a really great way. I mean, I think like Kerwin's engagement party, like you took the pictures for her and you went out of your way. You spent a whole day like doing this for her, which is great. And you're like one of your best friends and like able to do it. But you also had weeks of planning before that go into it, you know, for free, right? Like just a nice thing that you do. Or you were talking about somebody that wrote a bunch of letters and you helped them write like 27 letters.
Oh, the 27-page letter to get the girlfriend back.
To get the girlfriend back. And I'm like, damn, that's a full-time job. Like you'll do stuff for people that's like a full-time job for free, like all the time. Not saying that you should get paid for any of this, but I'm just like, where do you have the time to do that? Like you just took a phone call that was like kind of crazy. Like no, like it's not somebody that was like you're super close with. And you just like talked to them for like 45 minutes and it was just like really nice and thoughtful for no, you know, this is who you are, which is great. And it's awesome. Yeah. So those are my 3 things.
Do you have 5 more?
5 more. No, that's it. It's only 3.
What is the most annoying? Did you add this question in?
I didn't add this question in.
I did not write this question down.
Maybe it was one of your friends.
I did not. No, I wrote down the list and I did not put this question in there.
I swear I did not.
Shut up.
I swear to God I didn't put it in.
All right.
Do you want me to answer this though?
What's the most annoying thing that Alana does?
I did not.
Did you write this in?
I swear.
I
Why
literally
would I
wrote down the list of questions. Okay, whatever. What's the most annoying thing that I do?
I don't have to answer it.
No, go for it.
She really loves sauces, which is great. I love sauces too. I would say the most annoying was when you licked the rim of the glass.
You know,
when they put the salt on the rims of the glasses.
Not even just salt, like they garnish it with like really delicious tasting stuff that like is supposed to like enhance the drink. I forget what date this was. I could probably tell you.
Ophelia, day 22.
Was it day 22?
I have no idea.
It was. Imagine. No, it was date 20. Close.
Wow, close.
And I was like, you know what? Like, now the weirdness is going to come out. Now I'm going to let you see who I am. And not only did I lick the stuff off of my glass,
Yeah, she grabbed mine.
I asked him, I was like, can I have yours? And he didn't want to say yes, but he didn't want to say no. And I was like, all right, I'm going to have it.
Yeah, you can do it. It's fine. It's just weird. And then I wrote here also announce you're going to sneeze before you sneeze. I don't know when it was, but at one point I was like, do you realize you just always tell me you're about to sneeze? And you'll be like, I'm about to sneeze. That's true.
Every single time. I did not realize at all, but I really do always say like, I have to sneeze and then I sneeze. And sometimes I don't. All right. Was it a slow burn for you guys or did you feel some initial spark?
Am I starting this one?
Sure.
I think slow burn. I think we've talked about this a little bit. I think it was good for you. I know you talk about on the podcast a lot about how you fall in love easily on the first date. And yeah, like those relationships didn't really work out. So I think the slow burn has been good for us. Yeah,
I agree. Definitely a slow burn, I think, on both ends, especially because like, I mean, our first date wasn't under the best circumstances and we definitely like took the time to get to know each other. And I think it was a very normal progression and like very healthy, which is cool. Like, yay, healthy progressions in relationships. We like that. Go for that. Yeah, we were just doing a Q&A for Patreon where we talked about how it's probably not good. Like as much as you could be excited about someone after a first or second date, like don't maybe try to space them out still and go like once a week instead of trying to see them like 2 or 3 times in 1 week because you're so excited, because then you're going to be caught up in the excitement and like the emotions and endorphins and adrenaline from it rather than really kind of taking a step back and being like, okay, like, is this somebody I could like actually be compatible with and thinking about all that. And so I think it was really good how like the pace we took it up.
Yes.
Can confirm. All right. Jake, how long did it take for you to feel truly comfortable with me?
I think like pretty early on. I mean, day 2 was fun. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty right away, I would say. Day 2 was good and fun. Day 3 at the refinery. Yeah, I think right away. We were just having a lot of fun on our dates. Yeah. So I think it just felt really easy after date 1. Day 1 wasn't that fun.
But fun and like we were doing like fun things.
If you couldn't tell
not like fun,
by making it 40 minutes to the podcast.
Fun and like we were doing fun things, not like having fun. Like we weren't like hooking up with each other the whole time. Like we said before, like we didn't kiss till the end of our second date. Like fun, like we were just like doing fun things, having fun conversations.
Yeah, we had fun dates.
Yeah. I do remember though, I think this is really weird. For like half of our second date, for maybe like 2.5 hours, we just stood in my kitchen.
Yeah, we did.
I sat on the chair and you stood on the opposite end. It was really bizarre. Like I have like a lot of seating in my apartment and we just stood in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, I think we kept like making drinks.
Yeah, true. All right. Were your texting styles compatible from the start?
No. Alana to start is a very slow texter. So if anyone has ever texted with Alana, like she will not answer for like 12 hours sometimes.
No, well, it depends. Okay.
To start, like, I mean, what it is, you see most of the stuff come through and like, yeah, it wasn't that important to you with the first couple dates and texts. I think it took like 3-4 dates before you started answering me faster than 5-6 hours. I mean, I would tell Dahlia, I'm like, Dahlia, this girl.
Dahlia being someone he works with.
Yeah. And then now a friend of mine is texting you for something unrelated. And he's like, yo, does Alana always take like 12 hours to answer? What the fuck is going on?
He's not in my top 8 on MySpace yet. So until he gets there.
He was like, how do you deal with her? I was like, yeah, she answers a little bit faster now.
Yeah, I think that, well, in the beginning, it was also a time where I kind of, and I remember talking about this early on some Seeing Other People episodes where I was really like not being a good texter with anyone. I was kind of like putting my phone to like the back of my to-do list. And if I needed to talk to like a friend, I would either text them or call them. But other than that, I would let my text like really build up to like over 100 messages over the course of however many days or a week. And so Jake was kind of a victim of that, where I really just wasn't prioritizing it. I also knew I wasn't going to see him for a while. And then after the dates, yeah, I don't know. I think part of it still had to do with the fact that I was into a different guy. And yeah, I think that, I mean, I'm glad you hung in there, but I think also, unfortunately, I unintentionally played hard to get and it worked. And I hate that because you guys know me, I'm like all like for no games, but I think that it did make him like want me more.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I said this on the other podcast we did, but I always knew you were going to respond. Like, even if you were taking a really long time, there's times you're texting with somebody and they stop responding, right? Like they just don't get a response. You have to restart the conversation. That never happened with you. You always eventually responded. So I didn't feel like you were completely cutting me out at any point. It was just, yeah, you would take forever. And I think I called you out on it on our second date, being like, yo, you take a really long time to respond. Why do you do that?
Yeah.
And I did think it was part of like the chase and whatnot, which you said it wasn't.
It wasn't. It was really unintentional. But you know what could have helped you through that experience if you were a little anxious about it?
Are you going to say mindset wellness?
The Mindset Wellness CBD Calm Gummy could have helped you through that experience. I had a whole thing that I was going to say and now I forget. But Mindset Wellness CBD, again, like Jake and I are actually obsessed with their gummies. Especially, they're really great if you are in a relationship or dating somebody who likes to take the entire blanket when you're sleeping. The rest gummies will help you sleep through that experience.
It does help me sleep through that experience.
Oh my God. Don't even. You know I'm talking about you. He will take the whole thing. He'll go right smack in the middle of the bed. I'm like, excuse me, sir. I'm also here. But yes, Mindset Wellness CBD's rest gummies will help you through that experience because they will help you just fall asleep and then you'll wake up when it's time to wake up and you won't feel groggy or anything. You can have a morning. You don't have to like fight with each other in the morning about it when you wake up. You just kind of let it slide. And again, they taste amazing. They are our dessert. We need to order some more. We are very much running out. We have like 5 left. But yeah, highly recommend them. Also the happy gummies and the calm gummies and the health gummies and the focus gummies and the beauty gummies. So head to Mindset Wellness CBD. They're all gluten-free, non-GMO, vegan, and organic. And like we said, they taste amazing. So mindsetwellnesscbd.com. Use code Seeing Other People at checkout. That will get you 10% off. Jake, maybe we have to get you a code too. Nah, use code Seeing Other People. Okay, next question. This is a question I really like because I know like my answer right off the bat, I know. And it's something that I want to tell people about because I think it was so sweet. But this question is, what are the most thoughtful gestures you have done for each other thus far? And going back to that question about like, when did we start to like have feelings for each other? I think for me, it was definitely like the third date that I talked about after getting the vaccine and all that. Jessie, say hi to the listeners.
Hey, listeners.
Jessie was here for all of this. For me, that's my roommate walking by. But for me, I thought it was really sweet how he was like really, really caring when I like was in so much pain. Like even when we were sitting on the couch, there were certain like positions that I was in with my arm from the shot that really hurt me. But then the next date that we went on, we had been talking about The Bachelor a lot because we were watching The Bachelor together. And I get to the date, and as a joke, I was like. Did you have no idea where I was going to go?
Where you're going with this now?
We get to the restaurant, and as a joke, I was like, "So where's my rose?" And he's like, "Well, you have to wait for that. Like, you have to earn it. It's just the beginning of the date." And I was like, "I was totally kidding." And so the date goes on, and it's getting to be like nighttime, whatever. We're in his room watching a show, and I was like, again, I brought it up, and I was like, "So where's my rose?" And he was like, "Hold on." And he goes into his desk drawer and pulls out a rose. He literally, and then he was like, "Will you accept this rose?" And he literally got me a single rose as if we were on The Bachelor, as if it was a rose ceremony. And I was speechless. Like, I couldn't believe it.
That's true. You did like the rose a lot.
I loved it. I still have it. At one point you were like, "Did you throw it out?" And I was like, "Of course I didn't throw it out."
It's like an old and dead rose now.
Yeah, but it was so sweet and thoughtful. And
thank you. I try.
Yeah, it was really, really great. And then he like had a whole story about like going to the place to get it. And the guy was like, "What? You just want one rose? Like, what do you mean?" Yeah, it was really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have I done anything thoughtful for you?
No good gestures from Alana. It's one side in the relationship. No, so many things. Really like small though. I would say like birthday, Ostraval, and then like getting the coloring book for me, and like
I got him and his roommate a coloring book and a whole set of markers.
Start coloring. Yeah, I would say like all those little things. You're just very thoughtful. I mean, going back to the things I like about you.
Yeah. I was really nervous after I was like texting my friend. I was texting Kerwin and I was like, do I get him a rose now on our next date? And she was like, Lana, do not get him a rose.
You did try to do the date card thing.
I did. Oh my God. I tried. I was like, okay, I'm going to give him a date card as if it's a one-on-one date. I literally went to the restaurant that he works at because he was a manager of the restaurant at the time. And I wrote a whole date card and I dropped it. I went to give it to him and he had just stepped out to go to the gym. I was like, are you kidding me? And so I gave him a date. I left the date card with someone who worked there to give it to him. And it said like, Jake, say cheese, like more instructions to come. And I left it to be like a little ambiguous. And we were talking about how much we loved photo booths and stuff like that. So I planned a whole date where we were going to go around the city to like 4 or 5 different restaurants and bars that all had photo booths in them. Though, unfortunately,
it would have been a good date.
It would have been a great date.
What did we do instead?
Well, unfortunately, it was COVID and I ended up like calling different places and all the places that we were going to go to, all of the photo booths were closed because of COVID. So no photo booths for us. My date card was a fail, but we ended up going around. I brought the Polaroid with us.
Okay.
And that thus
was this the boat? We went on the boat?
I don't think it was the boat. Ow, what did we do? Ow. What did we do? Sorry guys, I have some wrist pain right now. This was we went and we did the stretching thing and then went to Sugarfish and then the boat. You're right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice,
So we
nice.
ended up having a great day instead. We both have been like, we both like can't touch our toes. And he was talking about wanting to do this like 8-week of stretching thing. Ooh, we took videos. We have to do the follow-up videos. So I looked up.
That we did not do that well.
I got us appointments at this place called Stretched where we went and had like stretches as if like you're getting a massage, but it's like a professional person stretching you out, which is really nice. Yeah, so that's what we did on that date.
Yeah, fun date.
Yeah. Okay, so next question. What were your previous dating experiences in New York City like?
Pretty basic. I mean, never was with anybody too seriously, like dated around a little bit, but it was really hard because I was traveling for most of the 3 years before meeting you. And changing jobs. So it was kind of like I'd come home for a couple weeks, like start dating somebody, and then I'd be like, yeah, this is a little bit too difficult. Mm-hmm. Or it didn't work out for, other reasons. But yeah, nothing ever really serious. Couple girls here and there.
You dated other girls before you met me?
Yes.
What? Oh my God.
A little bit.
A little? Okay. Well, next question. Did you listen to Seeing Other People? We covered that and really Google me prior to meeting me. How much of that went on before you met me?
I did not Google you for sure. Listen to Seeing Other People, probably not till after the first date.
You definitely had to have listened to one before.
Maybe. I don't know.
You've told me that you did.
Then I did. But yeah, I mean, I like dating podcasts.
You do.
I always listen to, I got to shout him out, Jared Freed.
Jared Freed?
Me and him are going to be friends. If you're looking for a friend, Jared.
Jared sent, did a very, very kind, thoughtful gesture. And Jared sent a video to Jake wishing him a happy birthday recently.
I'll send you one back if you want it for your birthday, Jared.
I hate to break it to you, but I don't think that's his dream birthday gift.
But
in case it is, you never know.
I know.
Do you stand the Jonas Brothers too?
I do. I really do. I mean, it was like 2 summers ago or 3 summers ago, 2019. We were in Chicago, and the whole weekend, I'd be like, Alexa, play Jonas Brothers, and all my friends would be like, no, and then like 3 seconds later, yeah, they'd be like, we go together. And then it would start every single time with Sucker. It was really funny.
That's hilarious. And one of the crazy things that I think we found out on our first date was, because we got into the whole Jonas Brothers conversation. For those of you listening who are unfamiliar, I am a huge Jonas Brothers fan dating back to like middle school. And what we found out was that like he was trying, I didn't believe him that he actually really liked the Jonas Brothers. So he was like trying to convince me, and he told me that Chicago story, and then told me that he and his friend were going to go to Vegas before in the beginning of 2019.
I always forget about that.
And when he told his friend, like, yeah, I'll only go if we like also go to the Jonas Brothers concert while we're there. And I was supposed to be at the Jonas Brothers concert in Vegas. Sass, who came on the episode Learning to Love Your Single Self, and I had flights booked and tickets to go to this Jonas Brothers concert in Vegas that Jake was actually also going to be at.
So did we. We had the flights booked and everything.
So that is just wild. And he is, in fact, coming with me on the Remember This tour this coming fall. So full circle moment there. So that is how the Jonas Brothers were our wingmen. The next question is he as obsessed with Sugarfish as you are. Sugarfish is my favorite restaurant. If you guys follow me on Instagram at alana.dunn, you know that. And he had never tried Sugarfish until we met, but on our first date.
I've now had it like 8 times, I would say.
And all of his roommates have had it now. Like it's a thing. On our second date, when we were at my apartment, we ordered Sugarfish in for dinner and he liked it.
We did.
Yeah. And then I knew, I was like, okay, we got the Jonas Brothers, we got Sugarfish. This is going well. How nervous were each of you before the first date?
I don't think we were that nervous. I think we both feel
I think we were just nervous
fine.
about the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About the type of dates that we were going on.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Those are all the listener questions. Jake, do you have any questions for me?
Do I have any questions for you? No.
No? Letting me off easy.
I don't know. I didn't have any time to prepare for any of my questions. No, I don't know. What did your friends say early on in dating? What were you saying?
Oh, people were like, Team Joe Bro Jake, Team Jake from State Farm. We like Jake. Like everyone, I think, so here, I think I've talked about this a lot, but with the other guy that I was going on dates with, I was so anxious about him. And with Jake, I was just like, this is good. Like it's like easy breezy. And I think my friends like seeing the juxtaposition of that and also just seeing how straightforward Jake was, like they knew that was something that was really good for me. And I think for me, the juxtaposition of the two guys was really helpful for me to be like, wait a second, like I can actually feel like confident and like good with somebody. And so I also got on board with Joe Bro Jake, and whose name is actually just Jake. It's not Jacob.
Nice. Just Jake.
Just Jake. Team Joe Bro Just Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it. Now we're here recording this episode.
What was your favorite date that we've been on?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. There's so many. I don't know. I mean, I think our whole weekend in Miami was amazing. Obviously, it was a weekend in Miami. We went for like 3 days, but it was really, really great to just kind of like enjoy each other's company. I think before everything was always, I mean, our dates were great, but it was nice to just like, I mean, it's great to learn that you can travel with someone. And this was both like the first trip that either of us had been on like in a relationship. I mean, I'd been in long distance relationships before where I like had to go visit the guy or he had to come here, but that wasn't really a vacation. And so for us, I think it was like a big deal, like going to the airport with someone, like sitting together. We had to do the whole thing where our seats were separate and I had to like ask people to change the seats for me. And then we really just like were on the same page about like the amount that we wanted to like sit by the pool or go to the beach, or just like at one point we were like, should we just like watch TV for the whole afternoon, like actually relax? And we both were so on board to do that. And I think that just that whole weekend was really like, it just felt like so good. What was yours?
My favorite date is you got tickets to John Mulaney.
Oh yeah.
and I love John Mulaney.
Yeah.
And those tickets are like hard to get. Mm-hmm. So like it takes effort and work to get those tickets. And
I didn't tell him I was getting them either.
Yeah. So like one day you were just like, I got tickets to John Mulaney. And we went to Chelsea Market and had oysters and tacos before, and then went to John Mulaney. It was great.
It was great. Yeah. A lot of good dates. A lot of good dates to come too.
Yeah. I see Knicks game 1 on there. Tough loss, but.
Oh yeah. We did not actually go to a Knicks game though. But it was fun. If you guys have any date ideas for us or any follow-up questions, you know, we can have, though this isn't an unfiltered episode, we can have Jake do a takeover on the Instagram story if you guys want. Oh no, he gave me a look. Okay, I will do the takeover. Maybe. I will facilitate the takeover
if people want
with him. If you guys want it,
whatever helps you out, Alana.
Thank you. No, whatever helps the listeners out. It's not about me.
And the listeners.
This isn't the Alana show.
Right.
You have to remember. But yeah, thank you for everyone who's been supportive. Like a lot of people have been cheering us on and rooting for us, and
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I do too. And I think I was definitely nervous at one point. I was like, oh no, like I feel like my brand is being the single person. What happens if I get into this relationship and nobody wants to listen to me anymore? And it was really awesome how encouraging all of you. And by you guys, I mean, I'm talking to you listening to this right now. Like so many people kept reaching out the whole way being like, I'm so happy that it's still going well with him, or you seem so calm and happy, and things like seeing you end up in like a happy and healthy relationship gives me hope. And hearing that really like warmed my heart beyond like what I can explain. And it's just been really great. And I'm glad that we've all been on this journey together. Like you guys have been there with me the whole way through, and it's been really great. And yeah, cheers to happy and healthy relationships.
Cheers.
Right?
Yes,
Cheers.
that is right.
Right. Do you have any final words of where people can find the podcast, what they should do? Should they send it to a friend, or what should they do if they liked it?
Yeah. Send it to a friend, share, repost it. It's the best way to help out Alana, honestly, is to repost or tell somebody who might actually be interested in the podcast to listen to the podcast. I mean, Alana doesn't make a lot, if any, money on this. And she really does it genuinely to help out people. Like this is what she wants as like her number one job. And you obviously do other stuff, but you also just like really care about the people that listen to it, like very genuinely and authentically, which I think is very cool. And yeah, I mean, it's fun. Thanks for having me on. Go follow me at jakesolomon71693@yahoo.com or something like that. I haven't posted on Instagram in 2 years.
He hasn't posted me yet, but it's okay. I'm not worried.
I haven't posted in 2 years, and all my stories are just reposts of Alana's stories. So if you don't follow Alana and still want to see her post, I will repost them.
You will.
Whenever she tags me in them.
Follow him. Follow Nancy's Nuts. Again, that's Nancy, Nuts, Nutz, Nuts with a Z. Order Nancy's Nuts. We will personally ship them to you. Nancy will personally make them, and they're amazing. Follow Mindset Wellness CBD. Order from mindsetwellnesscbd.com. And thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.